Elbone here, and I've got everything you need to know before you watch this weekend's 2025 F1 Belgian Grand Prix at the legendary Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps. We've got a lot to cover, so let's dive right in. Elbone! The 2025 F1 Belgian Grand Prix takes place this weekend at the Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps, aka Spa, in Francorchamps, Stavelot, Wallonia, Liège, Belgium, Europe, Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Linear K Supercluster, Universe, Multiverse, Simulation. The Belgian Grand Prix weekend is an F1 sprint weekend. Oh my gosh, woohoo, yay! Which of course means its schedule will differ from that of a normal F1 Grand Prix weekend. The Belgian Grand Prix festivities will begin this Friday, July 25th, which will consist of the only practice session of the weekend and sprint race qualifying. Saturday, July 26th will consist of the sprint race as well as Grand Prix qualifying, and Sunday, July 27th will consist of the 81st running of Belgium's national car race and the 70th running of the Formula One World Championship Belgian Grand Prix. Yes, I did just say the 70th running, which brings me to my first talking point today. We need to all band together and save the F1 Belgian Grand Prix. Here's what's going on. The Belgian Grand Prix is one of F1's most historic and legendary races. It's one of just 4 F1 races that appeared on the inaugural 1950 F1 calendar to still be in the sport today, and its 69 inclusions in past F1 World Championships make it the 4th most run F1 race ever. In addition, the Belgian Grand Prix circuit, the Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps, is absolutely iconic and beautiful with its lush greenery, rolling hills, and of course, the turn 2 to 4 Radillon de la Rouge section that's probably the most famous and most photographed chicane in all of motorsport. So with all this history and popularity, why on earth is the Belgian Grand Prix at risk of being removed from the F1 calendar? As always with Formula One, it's about the money. While it's easy to get F1 fans to tune in to the Belgian Grand Prix on TV, it is a lot harder to get them to attend the race in person or pay a premium if they decide to do so. The Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps is nestled in Belgium's remote and beautiful Ardennes forest. The nearest quote-unquote major city, Liège, is not that major at just around 750,000 metropolitan residents, and also not that nearby, with it being a full 45-minute drive away without race weekend traffic. This means the race lacks a built-in local audience from the get-go. On top of that, Spa's remoteness and the difficulty in getting there, paired with the fact that there's really nothing else to do in the area once you get there aside from watching the race because it is such an unpopulated area for most of the year, means the race lacks the same draw to travel to it as, say, the Las Vegas Grand Prix or the Dutch Grand Prix, which are near major tourist areas and feature efficient public transit. Because of all this and some other factors, the Belgian Grand Prix has posted losses of millions and millions of dollars each of the last 2 years, and F1 does not like races that lose money. Other things that do not help Spa's cause: there is not a single driver on the grid who flies the Belgian flag, even though both Max Verstappen and Lando Norris are part Belgian, and the Belgian Grand Prix is historically one of F1's rainiest races, with a race even being rained out as recently as 2021. All that is to say, despite its undeniable history and appeal, Formula One looks at the Belgian Grand Prix as nowhere near as marketable and money-making as some other past and future opportunities, and with F1 capping the season at 24 races now, that has led to the Belgian Grand Prix recently losing its status as a permanent F1 race, with it only scheduled to appear in 4 of the next 6 F1 seasons. And to that, I say, literally every F1 fan wants Spa to remain on the F1 calendar, so stop trying to make it not happen, Formula One. Give us Spa every year. We F1 fans don't care and don't have to care about the money side of things like F1 does. We just care about the product, and the product is undeniably cheapened when a race like the Belgian Grand Prix and a circuit like Spa are no longer permanently in the sport. If you're like me and like the Belgian Grand Prix, it would be awesome if you could show your support for it and Formula Bone by liking this video really quick on YouTube. I'm trying to hit 5,000 likes on it so that YouTube likes me more and shows my race previews and recaps to more people. Also, maybe the Belgian Grand Prix will see it. Elbone! All right, now after saying all that, I'm going to now say something that's going to sound hypocritical until you let me explain what I'm talking about. I cringe every time I think about the F1 Belgian Grand Prix. Why? Because I fumbled one of the biggest bags of my life after the 2021 Belgian Grand Prix. That race is famous for different reasons to different people, but for me, Elbone, Only one thing comes to mind when I think Spa 2021. Is it the fact that it's got the unbeatable record of being the shortest race in F1 history at just one lap officially raced? Nope. Is it George Russell's maiden podium? Nope. It's, of course, Nikita Mazepin's legendary fastest lap. After the race concluded, Haas F1 team driver Nikita Mazepin was awarded the fastest lap award for a 3-minute, 18-second belter done entirely behind the safety car. For reference, normally the fastest lap at Spa is like half that long, so yeah. Sadly, Mazepin's fastest lap award was ripped from his clutches not long afterwards. F1 decided to use, facts and logic and declare that the 2021 Belgian Grand Prix would have no official fastest lap, as the cars never ran not behind a safety car, so okay. Interestingly, that decision made the 2021 Belgian Grand Prix the only race in F1 history to not have an official fastest lap. That being said, in the legendary words of the Haas social media admin, the streets will never forget, and neither will Elbone. Anyways, what does all that have to do with me fumbling a bag? Man, I am cringing just thinking about having to tell you all this. After the race, I had the opportunity to purchase the actual gloves that Nikita Mazepin was wearing at the Belgian Grand Prix when he set that incredibly iconic fastest lap, and I chickened out. Cringe. Surely those would be worth millions now, right? God, I'm such an idiot! Do you know who aren't idiots though? My friends over at Shopify. A new business is oftentimes called a small business, but there's nothing small about starting your own company. My partner Shopify knows this because they were once a small business too, and that's why they are who you should trust to help you with your small business. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. Tackle all the important tasks in one place, from inventory to payments to analytics and more. And if you're looking to grow your business internationally, Shopify has global selling tools to help you in over 150 countries. In person more your thing? Shopify's award-winning point of sale connects your online and offline sales all in one place. With 99.99% uptime and the best converting checkout on the planet, you'll never miss a sale again, only with Shopify. Get all the big stuff for your small business right with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/fbone. Go to shopify.com/fbone. Shopify.com/fbone. Let's move on to talking racetrack. The Belgian Grand Prix's Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps is 7.004 kilometers or 4.35 miles in length, and the Belgian Grand Prix will be contested over the course of 44 laps around its 19 turns. Spa is a truly unique and singular challenge for drivers. It's not only the longest circuit in Formula One, but it also features the most elevation change of any circuit in Formula One. 102.2 meters or 335 feet separate the lowest point on the track, which is turn 15, from the highest point, which is turn 7. That's like the height of a 23-story building's worth of elevation change at Spa. Spa only features 2 DRS zones, one down the short pit straight and one down the long Kemmel straight. I say only 2, even though that's a normal amount, because you would expect Spa to have more with it being such a crazy long circuit. However, Spa features so many twists and turns and so much elevation change that there just really is not room for more than 2. Spa's 2 best overtaking spots are obviously at the end of these 2 DRS straights, as you might expect, with overtaking being difficult between turns 6 and 17 due to both dirty air and the circuit layout. Next up, your annual reminder, you might be calling this by the wrong name. The Belgian Grand Prix's Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps features F1's most famous corner complex that you've probably seen 100 times before, and people call it by a lot of different names. Eau Rouge, Radillon, Eau Rouge, Radon, Ratatouille, that big hill. But there is a correct answer. The complex's full name is Radillon de l'Eau Rouge, which is a combination of its 2 corners, Radillon and Eau Rouge. Now, most people don't call it by that name because it's so long, so they often shorten it to just Eau Rouge. However, Eau Rouge is the left-hand kink at the bottom of the hill that nobody cares about, while Radillon is the impressive uphill right-hander that everyone actually thinks of when they think about this corner complex. Eau Rouge is the hors d'oeuvre, while Radillon is the entree. Like I've said in the past, Radillon deserves more respect than Eau Rouge, and thus I have taken it upon myself to lead the charge in referring to this complex by either its full name, Radillon de l'Eau Rouge, or, if you're gonna shorten it, Radillon, not Eau Rouge. What do you call this corner complex, and did I convince you to change your ways? Let me, Elbow, know in the comments. All right, here are all the big F1 storylines you need to be following for this weekend's F1 Belgian Grand Prix. Your first storyline, F1 has changed a lot since we last raced 2 weeks ago at Silverstone. We've officially entered the post-Christian Horner at Red Bull era after his shocking firing not long after the British Grand Prix. This resulted in VCARB team principal Laurent Mekies replacing Horner at Red Bull, and VCARB sporting director Alan Permane subsequently being promoted to team principal to replace Mekies at VCARB. And on top of one of the craziest, if not the craziest, team principal moves in F1 history, we also have the rumor mill running at absolute full speed with daily speculation that Max Verstappen will be replacing George Russell at Mercedes, with George and Max maybe even swapping seats so George goes to Red Bull. Silly season is here and it's amazing. Your second storyline, F1 Sprint is back. Yay? Whether you love or hate F1 Sprint weekends and how they change up normal race weekends, Sprint weekends do frequently bring about anomalous results due to the lessened practice sessions that teams get. Just look at Hamilton's sprint win in China and Kimi Antonelli's sprint pole in Miami that already happened at sprint weekends this season. Hopefully we get some of that craziness during this weekend's sprint sessions, and if we do, maybe I'm going to be in on F1 Sprint. Your third storyline, the 2025 World Drivers' Championship title fight is so good right now, and you need to appreciate that while it lasts. Just 8 points separate Oscar Piastri in P1 from his McLaren teammate Lando Norris in P2, and with Lando winning 2 races since Oscar's last win, this weekend's Belgian Grand Prix could easily feature a pivotal moment in the 2025 World Drivers' Championship title fight, such as a lead change or Oscar fending off Lando in dramatic fashion. Or maybe even they crash and it's crazy. Your final storyline, the Belgian Grand Prix is a huge weekend for Mercedes and Ferrari. Just 12 points separate Ferrari in P2 from Mercedes in P3 in the World Constructors' Championship, and unfortunately for Mercedes, they are not trending in the right direction to flip that lead currently. Ferrari have recovered well from their poor season start and are consistently finishing with at least one driver in the top 5, while Mercedes stunk for a few races, then faked us all out with their double podium and win in Canada, before stinking again and only managing to take 11 points out of the last 2 race weekends combined amongst their 2 drivers in 2 races. That being said, Mercedes did essentially finish 1-2 in Belgium last year before George Russell's disqualification, so who knows, maybe they take P2 in the Constructors back from Ferrari this weekend. I don't know, can't wait to watch and find out though. Next up, here are Elbone's Belgian Grand Picks, brought to you by Grid Rivals Picks Game. Grid Rivals Picks Game gives race fans like you and me the chance to turn our F1 knowledge into money simply by making correct race predictions on the Grid Rival app. And here are my Grid Rival picks for the Belgian Grand Prix that I'm hoping to turn into some dough. My first Belgian Grand pick is George Russell to finish P5 or worse. Yes, okay, I know George Russell won this race last year before getting disqualified due to his car being underweight, but with Mercedes' bad form at the moment, I have George behind both McLarens, both Ferraris, and Max in my Elbone proprietary power rankings. My second pick is Lance Stroll to finish P14 or better. Okay, Grid Rival. Yeah, keep disrespecting Lance Stroll with your over and unders, and I'm going to keep taking advantage of it, okay? This is as close to a lock as you can get. The dude just finished P7 last race. My third pick is Max Verstappen to finish P3 or worse. I like McLaren to go 1-2 at a circuit where top cars can pull away, and that's why I think Max P3 or worse just makes sense. I'll take that push at P3 if it happens. My final pick is Lewis Hamilton to finish better than P5. Ferrari and Lewis are on hot streaks right now that I think will keep on rolling in Belgium. If all 4 of these picks hit, I'll turn $5 into $50, and whether you want to follow my Grid Rival Belgian Grand picks, do the exact opposite of them because you think I'm wrong, or make your own entirely different picks, you can get a $100 deposit match when you use my code BONE on the Grid Rival app, which you can download through the unique download link in the description now. Terms and conditions and age and location restrictions apply, and lines may have changed since this recording. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, here are my 3 bona fide race predictions for the 2025 F1 Belgian Grand Prix that I need to come true. With half of the 2025 F1 season in the books, I'm currently sitting at 16 for 36, aka 44% on the season with my F1 race predictions. As is tradition, me being below 50% with my predictions halfway through the F1 season has triggered the nuclear option, me, J-Bone, normally, changing my name to L-Bone until I'm back at or above 50%, a name change that I do on account of me taking so many prediction L's. In order to get back to being J-Bone after the next race in Hungary, which would be as soon as possible, I need to get at least 2 of these Belgian Grand Prix predictions correct, So let's do this. Elbow! And by the way, all these predictions are for the Grand Prix, not the sprint race. I continue to sporadically deny the existence of F1 Sprint. My first Belgian Grand Prix prediction is that Oscar Piastri will win the Belgian Grand Prix. Lando may be the driver on a hot streak right now, but if you look at the head-to-head qualifying and race results between him and his McLaren teammate at Spa going back to 2023, I think that they show that Oscar has the edge over Lando at Spa. I also think that even if Lando does outqualify Oscar, Oscar has a better chance at getting a bold move done than Lando would if the roles were reversed, just given Oscar's Monza and Baku moves last season. My second Belgian Grand Prix prediction is that Nico Hülkenberg will not finish in the points. Listen, okay, listen. Stop what you're doing. Don't comment anything mean. This is not what I want to happen. It's simply what I predict will happen, okay? I just think that Nico could have a hangover after his career-defining podium at Silverstone, and also there are a lot of competitive cars and drivers competing for the final points-paying positions, and it's not easy to finish in the points 5 times in a row as a midfield driver. You can hate the prediction, but don't hate the predictor. My third Belgian Grand Prix prediction is that Isaac Hadjar will finish in the points. After being arguably the most impressive rookie to start the season, Hadjar now has gone 3 races in a row without finishing in the points. However, Hadjar won at Spa in F2, and I think he'll use that experience and confidence at Spa to propel himself back into the points this weekend at the Belgian Grand Prix. Next up, here's my prediction for the top 5 finishers in the 2025 Belgian Grand Prix with zero reasoning nor explanation. P5 Charles Leclerc, P4 Lewis Hamilton, P3 Max Verstappen, P2 Lando Norris, and P1 Oscar Piastri. Now for the most important part of this video, what are your predictions for the 2025 F1 Belgian Grand Prix? Let me see them in the comments. Go comment right now and also like the video, please. Thank you. Toss me a subscription now and ring that notification bell so that you'll get my combined Belgian Grand Prix recap and Hungarian Grand Prix preview video next week right when it drops. And while you're doing that, do not forget to like this video so that YouTube likes Elbone more. Special shout out to my top YouTube channel members: Joe Max's Number One Hater Snow, Brian Linton, Wolf Loves Racing, Waffleopicus, Melissa Cruz, Elmar Zuber, The Tater, and David Hey! Mash that join button just below this video to get your name shouted out right here in future videos. Seriously, do it. Nobody's done it in a little bit now. Somebody do it. Come on. And if you want to join 1,000 plus F1 fans in the free to join Formula Bone Discord community, you can do that through the join link in the description. Until next time, folks, Elbone! Elbone!